Hello, everybody. This is DJ Concrete, aka Crete, and we are here to talk about relationships on our Are You For Real Though podcast. Now, Cuzzy, which is Sweet Mama G, is really good at opening this show up. And before we open it up, I know y'all see the names at the bottoms, but we're going to verbally tell y'all what the names are. Go ahead.
Greetings and salutations, YouTube and the world. It is Sweet Mama G.
I am Baldy E.
I'm Angelo Cooper with Keller Williams Realty.
All right.
Awesome. Good to have you. Good to have you.
Thank you,
So,
sir.
um, Cuzzy,
All
you are
right.
always wonderful with starting this off. So,
And
go ahead and start it off.
nothing has changed. We're going to start it off. Welcome to our Street Tactics Radio Are You For Real Though show. We have our special guest, Angelo Cooper from the Keller Williams Realty Group and the Coop Group. So he is one of our guest
The
hosts this
Cooper.
evening. He's going to be full of our shenanigans and our informational session for tonight. So let's get into it. So in the beginning, I always do a wellness check of our panel. So from 1 to 5, 5 being your best, your most dynamic, and 1 is you need self improvement. So I'm going to start with our guest, Angelo, from 1 to 5. How are you feeling tonight at 10:26 p.m. Eastern Standard Time?
um, I'd say a 4.
Okay.
I'm fighting off the fatigue from setting in. Y'all are
Okay.
nocturnal, so I'm adjusting.
Okay.
After running all day, body starts to, kind of, will wear down a little bit. But yeah, other than that, yeah, I'm good.
Okay. So we appreciate the 4. We appreciate you being on with us late night hours on Friday night. So Bald E, come on through. How you feeling, Daddy?
I'm feeling great. I'm a five all day.
Are you a
All
fan?
day into the night, into the possible early morn.
I ain't want to know what you're talking about. So good and wonderful. So, DJ Concrete, thank you so much for participating in our wellness check from 1 through 5 or 5 to 1. How are you feeling, darling, with your blue button down Hawaiian shirt? But go ahead.
Cuzzy.
I
Yes, sir.
still love you.
Absolutely.
Anyway, um, I'm feeling good. From 1 to 5, I'm a 5. I'm alive. Everything is good. I can't be mad at nothing or whatever. Just got things to take care of in life. Other than that, I am great. I have nothing to bicker or complain about.
All right. I hear you.
All
Got
right now.
things to do, people to do, and things to see. All right. So, welcome to our show. So, I have to start off my shenanigans before we get into our conversation with Angelo. Make sure you all go onto YouTube. If you're on Facebook or Instagram, go over to Street Tactics Radio, log in, make sure you hit subscribe and a notification button so you will get our quickies. We also do quickie shows on Mondays at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. So we interchange every other week. We do either a rap show review or a relationship show topic. They supposed to be quickies, but last week they gave us a little bit more than a quick answer. So make sure you log on to YouTube Street Tactics Radio on Mondays at 7:30 to see what our quickie shows are. We love surprises and we get into it. So I have a quote that I saw from someone this week. And I just want some feedback from you all, panel, as well as our followers. It says, and this is in relationship, having a supportive partner can really change your life. What do you all think about that?
I concur.
Okay.
I
So,
Um,
totally
Maybe it's
agree.
a spring word, right?
yeah, I definitely agree because okay, do you think the partner needs to be more supportive from the wife standpoint or the husband standpoint?
I just asked you to rate. Just tell me about my quote. I ain't say break it down to the third power. It's your partner.
Okay. So I think that I it's what I know. I know that the wife needs to support the husband more.
Oh Lord.
Sh- sh- Sound like some chauvinistic views.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I'm
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah. So and she got to support him what he do. That's what I mean, cuz he the breadwinner.
Not necessarily.
Well,
Not
In your
necessarily.
world, in your world,
Oh no, not my world. Cause I'm
modern
not taking
world,
care of no dude. No sir. I am single and finer. I ain't taking care of nobody, sir. At this current day, I'm cool. So, we talking about your world. So I'm not gonna do no duties. We're not gonna use that word tonight. So why can't it be equal concrete?
because a woman is not equal to man.
well,
You said a what?
A woman is
Ooh.
not equal to man.
You're right. You're right. You're
Okay.
right.
that's a bold statement, and I can agree. What rib the woman is for him? Isn't that what they say?
You know what? I'm glad you said that, Angelo,
I ain't hear nothing
because
he said. See,
well,
Yeah.
repeat what you
explain to
said.
her.
I heard a little bit of what he
From the
said, but
man's
repeat what you
rib,
said.
the woman is for him.
Right.
Thank you.
We get
Right.
that. And without that woman, that man would be eating no ribs nowadays. So,
Well, unfortunately, you're
You-
wrong because
okay.
nowadays most men are making their own ribs because these women ain't acting right.
Yeah, they don't know how to throw it down in the kitchen, so the guy got going there, and they got to
That
throw it
single
down
life.
the ribs, and they
Yeah.
got
So what you talking about, cuzzy?
Oh, I don't know what y'all talking about because the minute I said Hansel and Gretel, you fat them up before you go in on them. I
Okay.
cooks. I even cook for the
Okay.
ones that single that ain't my men. Somebody at the bottom of the screen always begging for food.
I'm
Exactly.
single.
Right. I'm trying to get him a wife so I can start bringing food to his house like I'm his cook service. Yes. I think it should be both ways. A partner should support both ways, not just the man more for the woman supporting the man more, depending on what she's doing. Um, I've seen. Can I use you, Angelo, as an
of
example?
course, of
Okay,
course.
I'm not going in all their business, but
I'll
I've
be the
seen
guinea
it.
pig. I'll be the guinea pig.
Okay. We appreciate that so much. I've seen where his wife has she's done I think triathlons or marathons and he's there
Yeah,
to support. Bless her heart, she get fit and all these good things and he's there to support. So I read the story when he just got some accolades, very nice profile where came to so it was like I think she said you came to her and said you wanted to do real estate, you wanted to quit your job and do real estate, and she support you for what 20 so or plus years.
yeah,
So
yeah.
he went to her and said, "I want to quit my job and become a realtor." If people don't understand real estate, if you don't work, you don't eat. If you don't sell, you don't eat.
Exactly.
And I've been
Exactly.
a realtor, so I know I was a realtor in the state of Maryland. So if I didn't sell any houses, I didn't make any money.
It's
So
feast
it's
of
a lot.
famine.
Right. So of course, I'm quite sure he had some hungry days on his side until he built up his wonderful practice he has now as a realtor. I'm quite sure because I know where she working. I'm not divulging her information. She put some of that food on the table as well. She wasn't home just doing duties and not working because as
Well,
well.
it, it was a strategic and calculated
Exactly.
plan. It wasn't anything that was impulsive because
Mm-hmm.
that's critical. And so because of that, and I have other people to consider, it is a
Mm-hmm.
partnership. Because obviously, if I didn't have her blessing on that, then I wouldn't have her support. So I mean, I do agree it's a partnership. I just wanted to kick up some dust and cause some controversy, but now
Yeah.
that I'm
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
yeah, it's
I
it
definitely
goes
agree.
hand in
Well,
hand.
I mean, it
Yeah,
is a partnership. You know what I'm saying? But I was just saying to Cuzzy that you know, the woman is there to help the man, so she definitely has to partner up and make sure his attitude right, make sure he has that energy, make sure his belly is fed so that he can go out and do what he got to do to come back, whether and take care of his family or take care of her. So she has a job. It's a partnership. I mean, I was married for 30 years, so I get it. Shouts out to
Well, when
Pokey and
she,
shouts
yeah.
out to Yes Gang. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, my bad. You were still talking, but it was is if she wasn't just a girl, she was my wife. So
Hmm.
that's
That makes a
you
difference.
hold that in a whole different regard.
Right.
So
Absolutely. Thank you,
yeah.
Angelo.
Oh, you're welcome.
Separate the
He brought the
partners,
fire
the
with that one.
wives, the sides, the fronts, the backs. When you talk about that, because it is an arrangement of marriage, lawful
Hmm.
marriage, or however you see your relationship, it is a different stance. I'm not going to do um, wifely things for just my boyfriend's side, peace, boo, or bae. So it makes a difference when you, and some people get it twisted because I've had some people that do some husband or wifely things, and I've done it in the past, but oh no, it's called growth and development. So, do you have any final wrap up thoughts in reference to that, Baldy?
I mean, I agree with Angelo. I mean, it is a partnership, and he made a good point. It has to be a strategic move when you do something in a relationship, well, in a marriage. I mean, it can't just be, hey, I got a dream of being a real estate agent. I'm thinking about doing it today. No, it has to be okay. What does this look like 6 months from now if I can't get clients or I can't move houses? I mean, what does it take? I mean, I
Right.
mean, what type of
Right,
situation? You have to have a secondary plan to say, okay, if this doesn't work out, what do I do next? I mean, do I go back
right.
to the job I left, or how do I move on? Because of course the wife is thinking, if it doesn't work, what you gonna do? I
Right.
mean, she's not trying to crush your dream, but you gotta be realistic about it.
You do.
So yeah, I get it.
Right. Gotta have a
So
contingency plan.
right.
Mhm.
Correct.
So here's my thing. um, I'm with y'all on the partnership and stuff like that. But like I said, it's to me, she's a helper. She's helping me. You understand what I'm saying? So a lot of times, y'all kind of got to watch that because some women have a tendency to take advantage of the situations, and they will actually weaken the man when if the man let her allow her to get in certain. I mean, you're not oppressing her or holding her down to be depressed or nothing like that. You want her to be happy, but I'm just telling you, sometimes you gotta watch it because it can switch up on you, and then the estrogen for men will grow, and you don't want that to happen.
And then the testosterone for men will lower. So then we
Exactly.
become equal.
Exactly. And I'm not equal. Remember, you the rib, sis.
Hmm.
Yeah,
And I'm a
So
rib, then don't you become a rib when that testosterone drop. Okay?
nah, there's levels to this thing. I can get it raised. I can get it raised back up.
We know for a week, a monthly shot. We know for a price.
Yes.
Okay, there we
Yes.
go.
So I'm just saying I seen it happen too many times, and I'm just not. I ain't doing it. But I mean, yes, they can be a partner, but it's you gotta watch it. I'm telling you. I get people come in my store and say, I gotta see what my wife. A dude just did that today. I'm not letting my wife make decisions for me. She can help me make a decision, but she's not making a decision for me.
She wasn't making it, he was just conferring with her.
Who? The guy
The
at the
guy
store?
you said the store.
Yeah. Nah, nah. I'm gonna tell you, I seen it so many times. Trust me, that's a beta move.
So let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
What if she does she have to ask you for situation where she want to make a purchase?
Not all the time, especially if it's something she know that I'll approve of.
Well, how's she gonna know? What if it's something different? She don't know whether you're
That
gonna
that
approve
that's
of it or not.
because that's when you get to know one another. That's when she comes into your home and know that she has to live under your law,
Who law?
oh
my
Lord.
law. the head of the household law.
Yeah.
That's a little tight.
Now, see, the problem is all this is
Invite me
being
to the
lost.
wedding.
All
That's
this
what
is
mama
being
said.
lost.
Invite me to the wedding.
All this is being lost over time, and that's why you have so many. That's why these women out here saying what they saying. I mean, they just dogging us out. But I ain't about to let that happen. I'm telling you, they can go and these black women can be rough as they
Hold
want
it.
to.
Oh, oh,
Wait a minute. Hold
woo.
on. Hold on.
Yeah, a lot of them watch TV. Watch TV.
So it's just black women. Is that what we're
Nope,
going
it's a
to
lot of women, but the black woman is the ones that's standing out there trying to be so rough. And I don't dislike black women. I love black women. My sisters are black. My mother was black. But
I
this
think I'm
generation
black
right
too.
here,
But okay.
this generation right here, pit bull, pit bull. They out here pit bulling dudes,
Can I
and
say
they letting it
something to
happen.
you? Can I say
You
something
surely
to you?
can.
So I work in a multicultural or multi-diverse industries, two of them.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? If you want to talk about pit bulls, it's definitely not us. It's some of those others who don't want to be in a descriptive category. Let you not give them what they want. You talking about pit bulls,
Okay, why don't you
Dobermans, and
be more
wolves?
specific like I am?
No, I can't because that'll get so wonderful, beautiful black one. We're not even going to go there, but we have others who, depending on what it is, in situations that they go hard and harder
Okay,
than us, like rough. It's not
okay.
always us. Let me say that because I'm dealing in an industry where it's been all day with individuals from another other categories, not black.
Cousin, I didn't personalize that, but I
Oh
meant
no,
what
I'm
I
not
said.
offended because I know
But
you. I ain't
I'm
offended.
saying because that's what I was mainly dealing with. You understand what I'm
Okay, and I
saying?
get it, darling.
And if you look at television, the angry black woman has been painted for years and years and years. And don't get me wrong, again, I love black women. My y'all, I'm
Can I
telling
say
you,
something to you too? I've heard that, and Baldy can attest to that. At a place I used to work at, when we wouldn't let people take advantage of us in our, let's say, staff meeting, oh my God, she's an angry black woman, and it was not the person same ethnic group. As if I'm gonna say, no, you're not gonna do that to me, or you're trying to give me 15 jobs with this $2 salary, and I'm questioning about that. Oh my God, you're angry. No, I'm not angry. I'm being assertive to let you know you're not gonna have me do 15 jobs for $2. That's not being angry. That's being
no, it's
knowing my
nothing
worth.
wrong with that.
No, I'm just saying that's
Yeah,
how
it's nothing
people
wrong with that.
always label African American or black women in any situation, whether it's relationship wise, because at this point we have to be assertive. We have to talk up from ourselves because then we'll get that chauvinistic demeanor in our positions. Oh, well, you're a manager. I'm going to talk to you any type of way just because you're a woman. No, sir. No, ma'am. No, whoever. It's not going to happen. I had to bite my tongue several times. I said, oh, I like where I live, my car. But that's not typically my demeanor. But I know professionally sometimes I have to take that L in order for me to rise and be a winner, or take that L because it's not really an L. It's just I just have to sometimes step back because I know what my vision is in supportive services. But we have to be assertive. And we hear that angry or aggressive. And I've told E several stories when we be stepping in suit, they want to throw that all the time. Are you angry? I'm not angry because at the end of the day, I'm thinking about getting me something to eat at the store and something else. I'm not thinking about this, but I'm not gonna let you um degrade me in any situation, professionally or personally. So thank you so much for that topic. And I get it because we know your view and thousands of views. We thank you so much for logging on to YouTube, Street Tactics Radio. Are You For Real Though Relationship Show? You know, me and my cousin go ahead every week. I'm surprised he haven't said duty yet today. So I'm going to give him a dollar every time he don't say duty.
You know why I ain't say duty yet?
I don't even want to know.
Do you know why I ain't say duty yet? Do
No.
you?
Why? Because my
Cause
dude what?
I
I know.
cuzzy.
Nope.
I still love you.
I know.
That's why I ain't say duty yet. So anyway,
All right. So,
so just like the lady last week when that we made a topic out of that was, she just thought she was saying something. She was way too rough. Like I would never give a woman like that a chance, and don't care if she say she won't give me a chance. She was rough as I don't know what. She was sagging and everything, and still thinking she was like
oh Lord.
25 years old. That wasn't even like that attitude right there is just I would never deal with nothing like that ever.
Okay.
Period. So anyway, what you got next, cuz?
I got something next. So I posted on social media this week. It was a little blurb. Everyone you meet will come with baggage. Find
Mm-hmm.
someone who loves you enough to help you unpack your baggage. How do you feel about baggage in our 40-plus-year-old range now?
Hey, son. Okay. Um, repeat that one more time. I'm sorry.
Yes. Stay on topic.
Because Angelo needs to hear that too
Yes.
You
with
know
your
what?
smart mouth.
Yeah, I actually the video had frozen the whole time. I had to leave and come back in.
Yeah, that's why I was trying to tell her to repeat it. So I know you were just coming on. So, but you know what? As I was speaking before you left off, um, her assertiveness, since you want to call it that,
Well,
she got.
Angelo knows me, so he already know. So everyone you meet will come with baggage. Find someone who loves you enough to help you unpack. So concrete, how many
Well,
bags you got? Because you got some trunks.
How do you figure
Exactly,
that? How do you figure that?
you do. I still love you, okay. So how do you guys feel about that statement?
Statement of unpacking my baggage.
Yeah, people come with baggage. Find
So you
somebody that's gonna
saying
help
you
you.
saying so you
Everybody have
saying like
baggage.
so you saying like if I met somebody, right,
Hmm.
and they had baggage, so I have to assist them to let it out so we can move forward in the relationship. Is that what you're saying?
If you love her enough, what about that?
Well, to be honest with you, if I first meet a woman and she has a lot of baggage and everything, just by talking, like I'm gonna let her talk first. She'll tell me if I'm listening, she'll tell me if I gotta pull something out of somebody that's too much. I'll just let her talk and I'll learn about her. Just same thing like me. I'll talk and she learn about me.
So are you willing to help her unpack her baggage?
It depends on what baggage she has coming out of there. I mean, coming out of her baggage, what she got coming out of her baggage. It depends. I might stop halfway. She ain't even get the shirts out.
Okay. But if you love her enough, aren't you going to try at least?
How am I gonna love her and she ain't even unpack her baggage yet?
You helping her unpack the bag
Nah, no, because that's too soon. Like if she's still letting loose with me, how am I going to start loving her already?
because it might be a small bag and not the 28-inch bag.
Sorry, cuzzy. I ain't going for that one. Nope.
I'm gonna
Okay.
say this.
Pokey
I
said
can. I,
there's not anyone in this 40 and up age group who does not have baggage. We all have
right.
it at some sort. Very
Right.
true.
And that's true. But the
I can agree
question
with that.
was the statements, and I understand what you're saying, Pokey. Find somebody that want to help you or love you enough to do it. People come with a lot of traumas, a lot of past
Right.
relationship issues. If you love that person, are you willing to help them unpack? Because some people say no.
Yeah. I mean, I think it depends. I mean, is that person willing to get help? Like you just mentioned, trauma.
Hmm.
Trauma is something that you may need a professional to help you with. Are you willing to go down that professional route, or are you willing to just every day just keep bringing it up and going into it, but not trying to get any real closure to it? Yeah, I mean, if it's something like trauma, you're willing to get help, let's go get you some help. But if you're just wanting to complain every day and every time something goes wrong, you blame it on that, no. But I mean, if somebody has baggage, of course. I mean, you're trying to get to know the person, you're trying to understand the person. Yes. I mean, most people they have a reason why they have some type of block up for certain things that they may have going on or been through. Period. So yeah, I mean, I think at 40, if you meet somebody with no baggage, that would be amazing. They're a unicorn, and I wouldn't believe
I wouldn't believe
it.
it either.
Yeah.
No,
So I mean,
At 40, yeah, they have a lot of baggage. I mean,
40
it
plus,
just
right.
depends. It
right,
just depends on what it is. Trust me.
right,
And
But
you're right. You're right, and it depends on what it is.
right. If you're
'Cause
not trying to
I
get
can
any
list
help,
some dealing with
right.
men 40 plus or in 50s. What sometimes they're dealing with. Angela, would you like to comment?
I'm still, assessing and taking everything in. I mean, I think I think it's relative to the person. Baggage can be there if you're younger than 40.
Yeah.
um, I think for some people it's all in it's all about perspective. For some, depending on how much they're into the person, then it becomes more of they're more accepting of it. So and so they don't view it as baggage, right? If they feel like,
Mhm.
hey, there's that synergy, then we'll kind of work through it. I mean, nobody comes without flaws, right? You can
Absolutely.
appreciate somebody more when they help, when you can, work through things collectively and you can accomplish things collectively. So I think it's a mindset. It's all about perspective, and where you are in your life and how you feel about that person.
Okay.
I
Thank
think
you.
Pokey just had a
Mhm.
interesting comment right there. You want to read it, cousin?
Yeah, I was going to read. Thank you so much, Concrete. Pokey, one of our guests, said, I think that people who are entering new relationships should have already unpacked their baggage rather than bringing that baggage into a new relationship. That's a perfect world. And thank you for commenting, Pokey, but that never happens. People have
right,
something, but it's usually because when you meet with somebody else, you're bringing in a baggage that may people think they don't have until something triggers something to come up.
Well,
Whether
it
if
goes.
you
Oh, go ahead.
go ahead,
But
Angela.
I oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say kind of it's relative because
Mhm.
it's interesting because maybe whether you call it baggage or early opportunity, maybe it's that one thing that can draw two people together because they can kind of relate and identify, you
Mhm.
I
know.
agree.
Um, and of course, if they can relate, then they're in a better position to kind of help each other, evolve and overcome it, right? So,
Mhm.
very opportunity baggage, tomato, tomato. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You
Absolutely.
do you do have relationships like that where some people um may experience the same situations and they get together and it worked. You know what I'm
Mhm.
Hmm.
saying? You have
Right,
I'm speaking on music right now. You have some artists out there like I'm gonna use the artist Logic. I forgot what he had some type of situation. Let's say if he had a mental illness, right?
Mhm.
And whatever his mental illness was, he rapped about that, and that was like 80% of his audience that
Mhm.
was going through the same thing he was going through, and that's why they gravitated to him
Mhm.
because he understood them, and
Right.
then he was
Hmm.
rapping to the world about those situations that
Right.
they go through. So I get it. Sometimes some people can get together and make it work together, and they on that same journey together.
It's therapy. It's therapy.
Right.
I say all the time, any genuine relationship isn't without its flaws, right? So you go through those obstacles, you overcome them together, it makes you stronger. Any perfect relationship is fake. It's not real. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because
Right.
I mean,
nothing in life is perfect.
exactly.
Nothing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Let's put it out there on the table. Let's deal with it. Let's get through it. It brings us closer together. So yeah,
right.
I mean, if it's a fake relationship, it's phony. If
And
it's a
that,
I just think
sorry, if it's a
the
perfect relationship, it's phony. I should say.
right.
right.
And
I
that's
just
true.
think the lack of
Go ahead, Baldy.
Yeah, I think it's a lack of honesty in a relationship. Uh, Coming into a relationship, you need to just put it on the table. If you have a problem with something, be honest about it. If you've been through something, be honest about it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't wait until the person finds out, 6 months down the line, a year down the line that you had a problem with something. Then it becomes a bigger issue on why didn't you tell me? What else is
Right.
there?
And
It
I totally agree.
opens a whole Pandora's box of other questions. I mean, when you could have resolved it in the beginning and say, hey, I've been through this type of trauma. I've been in a situation. I've been homeless. If you tell somebody that, yeah, I mean that's trauma. I mean, it's not always relative to somebody physically abusing you, but if you've been homeless before, you feel a certain type of way about always keeping a job or always keeping that roof over your head. So yeah, I mean, I definitely understand.
Hmm. Absolutely. So I appreciate you all for responding to our panel questions and answer session. So now we're going to transition to our interview with Angelo Cooper, our guest. So, Angelo, welcome to our relationship show. Are you for real though? Because we have some questions, I'm quite sure, and be honest, be open to our questions. So we're going to let you begin, just giving us your background, what's your specialties, where you do real estate. Just tell us who Angelo Cooper, the realtor, is.
Angelo Cooper is a young man that's been entrenched in real estate for over 24 years. So, uh, started out as an investor, still an investor, a developer, realtor, practiced residential and commercial real estate, um, licensed in multiple states: Maryland, Virginia, DC, PA. Will be licensed in Georgia and California as well. I run a small team um, under my company name, the Coop Group, affiliated with Keller Williams, where I actually have some franchise ownership as an investor. International company everywhere, and I mean, real estate is what I do. I'm passionate about it. It has fed my family, and you know, and like my wife said, you don't do something for so long without doing a lot of things right. So,
Hmm, that's deep. That's real.
All right. So thank you for your background. So, panel, would you like to start off the questions?
Oh, my bad. Did y'all hear that?
What we
I
hear?
did. I heard something.
Yeah, I heard it.
Okay, yeah, that was my bad. I was trying to okay. Yeah, I was trying to bring something up so we could talk about. I was going to throw in the mix. But go ahead Cuzzy.
Didn't I say panel? Okay, let me do it. So, Angela,
Okay,
all right. I'm going to give you a
sweet mama,
scenario.
sweet mama.
Yes. I'm going to give you a scenario. So, I'm going to put myself in the place of the person because I don't want to use a name. So, I'm an individual who moved in with my significant other. He purchased a home, but I was not on the mortgage payment or the deed. What do you recommend to me as that person not on the mortgage or deed, moving in with my significant other? Is it a good move or no?
Oh yeah, it's going to depend on where the two people are in the relationship. Now, let me make sure I have a concise understanding. This person already has his he or she already have their own property. It's not like they're together and then one decides to acquire, their own property without including the other person in that process. Is that what you're saying?
No. So we're together. You live where you live. I live where I live. We
Okay.
went to purchase a home, but I was not given the option
Oh wow,
to
that's deep.
apply with you. Although I'm moving in with you and we have a child together.
Wow,
I'll throw that one in. Small child
Oh.
together.
that's chaos.
Do you think? So how do you proceed? Do you give any options and let people know you don't do any side, but you're just trying to make the money? I get it. So what would you give people advice about doing that situation?
Well, like Baldy said, it's about transparency, right? So, if you're talking about any type of serious relationship, those are things that you discuss beforehand. And if the other person doesn't give you enough consideration to bring those things up, I think that the writing's on the wall, before it goes any further. I mean, to acquire real estate, you're talking about that, the shelter. What Luther, what Luther say? What's that song? Um, it's not just a house. It becomes a home if you're going to,
Mm.
establish and bring a family in. And if a person isn't considerate enough to have that conversation with you, whether it's he or she, I think that's pretty much the first sign of trouble, personally. Because yeah, I mean that's just everything in decency and order, and that's just out of line from the jump.
So the gentleman, we're gonna say the purchaser, say I'm the head, so I don't want you to be on the deed or the mortgage. I'm the head. You the helper.
Can I say
So
something?
so basically so just that scenario coming right out, nothing wasn't discussed. Now, obviously, everything has a gift and a curse. Now, if there was that dialogue in the beginning, and you know, the person was given the option, and maybe one person's they weren't evenly yoked because one person's credit wasn't good, then it makes sense. All right, you know what? I'll purchase in my name, but there's a way to give that other person consideration. I'll purchase in my name, but I'll add you to the deed, because I know you can't qualify for the loan, right? So that's a more strategic approach. You know what I mean? However, when you're making moves like that, you should probably, it's usually advisable to be married. But I mean that can be debatable. Um, So I mean that's probably a more strategic approach. I mean, in the world of utopia, you will have marriage, you will have both people going on a deed, and if one couldn't because they're handicapped because of credit, and they can't qualify for the mortgage, then right they would go on the deed. That would help the other person feel secure and protect their best interest. I've seen lots of situations where there was marriage or not, in which you know emotions get involved, and people don't have any foresight, and basically, it can mess up both both parties' credit. I guess that's a situation in which both people qualify for the mortgage and they have a falling out, and you're dependent on your spouse or significant other to assist with the mortgage, and they're not. And so as a result, you know, both parties, ruin that credit. And so that's a situation in which something good has gone bad. So there are other alternatives to that. So it all depends. It's a conversation you have up front, and then once you have the meeting of the minds, you can be more, strategic about how you move.
Okay. Thank you for that. DJ Concrete, did you have a comment?
First of all, first of all, Cuzzy, All right. That right there, what you just asked, I'm gonna be straight up. None of that is good for a man these days. The man will always get the bad end of the stick. Trust me. I from me just coming out of what I just came out, I would never do that. I ain't if she ain't if she coming in there and it's my house or whatever, she can't get on there. Well, God darn it, she can't get on there. Period. It's just that simple. Like I'm not setting myself up for that. Trust me. You can let one of them girls come in there all you want and watch you lose every time because the system is set up for them. I ain't doing it.
Well, I'm gonna throw this out there. So I'm gonna put it the other way around. Let's say for instance, the woman has the house and the man is selling his house. Now, we just went through the biggest thing any of us will ever see, which was the COVID pandemic. Think if that man was not on that woman's deed and he sold his house and the woman passed away from COVID and he's living in the house, where would he then live? So,
So
I mean,
you
I think,
saying that so you saying that okay, he went and lived with her and now she passed away. So now
right,
he gotta find a place to live.
correct.
That
But
sound
if
nah.
if he was on that deed, I mean, let's be honest. If he was on the deed, he would have a place to live still.
See that right there. I like me. I swear, like that just wouldn't. I wouldn't even be looking at that like that. You know what I'm saying? Like if she passed away, if I'm on the deed, okay, cool. But for me to be sitting there, and I'm not saying that you saying that, I'm
Right.
like, yeah, she died. It's my house. Nah, I could care less about that house. You see what I'm saying? Like I am not me. I will never get myself caught up in nothing like that. From what I see, even I was a man about marriage and everything, but marriage is such a bad deal for men right now. It's ridiculous. I'm telling you. I'm telling you what I know. I wasn't married 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, or 30 years. And trust me, I don't care who. I'm tired of hearing dudes talking about. Well, my wife she got this. And dudes walking around here broke down because they was in a marriage. Why can't they just split and just leave? Go ahead, cousin.
Okay, let me call on me. Thank you. Tag me in. Thank you so much. So the scenario actually was my actual scenario. It was
Okay.
me. So let me tell you what happened before y'all say I was Janet Jackass. So
Oh Lord.
I um I was in a relationship with my before he became my husband, my son's father. So he had a decent job back then. We were I think I was 22 and he was about 24, something like that. It's been so long ago. So he back then, back in the 90s, we talking about back, you only need $500 down deposit. So we wound up getting a townhome together. We were not married at the time. I was not on the deed nor the mortgage. One thing about that, I had no one to school me. I didn't have DJ Concrete in my life or Baldy E in my life or Angelo in my life to say, oh my goodness, don't do it. My mother had no recollection of how to do things like that. She wasn't in there, she didn't even know. So when we lived in the house together, you know, he paid the mortgage, I paid the other household bills, what have you. So in the end, when we dissolved our marriage, it was ugly. Okay. So let me tell you how ugly it got. One day I went to work and came home. It was a real estate, what are those things called, Angelo? You put in the window, like with your little advertisement. Angelo Cooper is the realtor in
Really?
our window of our house. And I'm like, what the hell?
Panel?
Yeah,
Okay,
just in the window because we didn't have a grassy part
I
to put it there.
understand. Yeah.
I said, "What the hell going on? I'm just coming from work. What's going on?" The fool put the house up for sale while I was at work. We were
Boss.
in the midst of splitting. Okay. We had no contingency plan. He was going where he was going. I was going where I was going. What didn't make any sense. Don't know. Back in the day, it was some crazy shenanigans back in the day. So so I complained, how are you gonna put a real estate sign in the window? One, while I'm at work, and two, I was a realtor at the time. How you gonna get another real estate agent? I was, James Jackass did this while I was at work.
He was boss.
Let me tell you.
Oh, ooh.
No, he's a jackass. So because I had no guidance from my god brother and my older cousin by 3 months, or Angelo, my realtor, I didn't know any better. So I complained. So what wound up happening? I did a dual agency. I was a seller's agent. One of my investors that was one of my clients wound up buying our property, and somebody else in the agency became the buyer's realtor. Ain't no know what I'm talking about. So because of my domestic situation with my husband, my client inclined to help me get out the situation and help me. He was a sweetheart young guy. Big ups. Matter of fact, his name's Angelo, not Cooper, but never Angelo. Help me through my situation because, because of the nature of my relationship with my husband ending. So the only money I got was the money I got from being the seller's agent, and I get it. So all that other money didn't get anything. So
So, so cousin, you
yes, sir.
saying that y'all had the house together, and then you did invest into the house.
Of course, I paid bills and whatever else that I had
The
to
bills is
do.
not the house. The bills are utilities, or bills are bills.
Bills, get the grass cut in the backyard,
That's the
paint,
grass.
whatever.
The
Investment.
paint. That's just
It's investment. If it come out my pocketbook, it's investment.
okay.
That's not investment.
No,
It's to put it towards the household.
no.
I pay for the inspection.
Okay.
Investment.
Well, he should have gave you your inspection money back.
Oh my God. Well, listen, go ask him for it now. See what happens. See if you get that money.
Cough it up as a loss.
I
He'll
caught.
pay for it.
Listen, I'm not petty. When we split, I didn't ask for alimony. Okay, because of course, being who I am, I just want you to take care of your child. My son was still a minor at the time. He old now, but I was that person in that situation because I didn't have family members to educate me or friends because my friends they didn't have crap, back then and years ago. They didn't have anything. So it wasn't like I could get good advisement. This is what you shouldn't have did, this is what you should have did. I didn't have any of that. The realtor just, okay, I'm gonna take your $500 deposit, I'm gonna take your inspection money, move on in, happy, whatever. So that's a real scenario. Just it wasn't something that it was made up. I said it at first, but it was actually me. I went through it. I won't ever, 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 ever do that again. Okay?
So you
That's
ain't
my
gonna buy no more paint. You ain't gonna get the grass, pay to get the grass cut.
no
None of that.
meaning it's gonna be either equal or it's gonna be me. Period. I've learned
Well,
my
here's
lesson.
the thing.
What,
If
sir?
if you if you went in, if y'all say, "Oh, I like this house. I love this house," and then you guys get approved for it down the line, and they want $20,000 down the deposit. If you paid 10, he paid 10. That makes the difference. And then if y'all continue to pay these bills together, I mean, not the bills, but I'm talking about the mortgage together, then I can see like, okay, well, that was a joint venture between two people. And then if y'all break up, yes, you need to get half of that. He needs to get half of that.
But
But the
most
way the way the
situations,
system works now, they screwing dudes. Like they
listen,
like
it's
dudes is
not
just
just
not
dudes
making out.
concrete. Because
Huh?
me and Eric, Baldy talk about this all the time. People, he has women that come out that's not on the good end of the stick. Because you have a lot of
I
women who
know.
are boss women, and we have these dudes that want to take them for their money. It's not just the men's side. Women take a loss. I was telling Baldy about
I've seen it.
somebody I was dating, and I found out after he said, "Oh, I'm gonna get a house," and "Oh, do you want?" And I found out he still has a home with his ex-wife because he don't want. He feels sorry that he cheated on her. She's still in that. I'm like, so you can't qualify for two mortgages. You still on the mortgage with your ex-wife, and you want to get a mortgage from me? No, sir. Not doing that one. No, sir. Nope. What?
Okay, okay, cousin.
No, but seriously, I'm not doing that. I'm at an
Okay.
age that I'm not 20, 30, and almost out my 40s. I'm not doing it because it's talking about making smarter, wiser decisions. My realtor is on the line here, Mr. Cooper. He gave me some hard decisions. He will give it to you. He don't care whether I want to hear it or not. He told me what I need to do, and this is what you need to do because I'm looking out for your best interest. This is what you need to do. No shortcuts. There's no shortcuts. There's no shortcuts. And
Tell
that's
us
what
what
I'm
you
about.
told her, Angelo.
Oh Lord.
We want to hear it.
I told her to keep being positive and keep being an inspirational force to, everybody else out there. Continue to lead by example, So, just kind of keep doing what you're doing, but step it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if I want to make moves, you got to come with a clean set. You can't do all these. He talked about credit management. These people that take the credit off, wipe it off, and then it shows back up some other point in
Exactly.
time. Can you talk about that, Mr. Cooper?
Yeah, you're right. You get what you pay for. The credit repair. I mean, if you owe it, you can. I mean, just pay it, negotiate it, pay it. But
That's exactly what I did. I hear people talking about what you were just talking about, like they get the credit repair companies. I just downloaded Credit Karma,
Mm-hmm.
and it just made it more convenient for me to see my bills that I owed, and then the numbers were there, and then I just started calling these people, and either I argued the bill or I negotiated the bill,
exactly.
and it
Right.
worked. You know what I'm saying? And you pay that stuff down, you'll start to see your credit grow. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it's interesting because the same money that a person is willing to pay for credit repair is money that could be used to address
Pay
the
your
debt.
bills. Yep.
You know,
Yep. I agree. I
Yeah.
agree.
I mean, I think a lot of people, I'm gonna say people, don't understand. The most powerful thing that you have is your money. Stop spending it on just stuff. You want to own property. You want to make money. It takes money to make money. So don't just keep spending it on frivolous things because you have an impulse to buy something. And we're not talking about small things buying. We're talking about buying large things or staying on vacation all the time. It's like, listen, that $2,000, $3,000, put that towards your clothing. I mean, put it towards something that can actually build you wealth. I mean, that's one of the biggest things I always tell Sweet Mama. It's about building wealth now. I mean, all this stuff is just stuff. I mean, build wealth, then you can take the trips, lower that
Yeah.
debt or eliminate the debt.
Right. The same thing. I was telling her too. I had saw her, she was shopping and just spending money and stuff. And then I was
What
like,
you
"You
talking
need to
about?
save your money."
What you talking
She was
about?
fascinated. She was fascinated with things that vibrate, and I'm like, "What? Why you keep
Oh,
on?"
that is
Uh,
true. That's an investment. Happy woman can go make that money. Listen,
I'm
it's
like,
colder than monkeypox out here. Happy
she was
woman,
over there,
stress
sending
reliever,
her
scared to go to the gym.
at Brookstone and all this stuff, looking at stuff that vibrate, and I'm like, "What?"
Yep, meditation.
Okay.
you should
Anyway,
So
being
meditation.
in touch with yourself, right?
that's it. Yep, getting to know oneself. So that
well,
was some great information, Angela,
yeah,
in reference to the credit repair. I had that hard conversation with Angela. I didn't like what he said, but then I told Baldy, I'm like, my realtor said the same thing you said. So let me tuck it in and do what I need to do. And I'm working on it. It's a process.
Right.
If
Right.
you want to move forward in your life, depending on what you're trying to do, whether it's because Angelo is a residential and commercial realtor. So as we build our businesses, we talk about also doing commercial properties and what you need to do. We have LLCs, we have businesses. This is not for fun; it's not for play. So we are real business people on here as well. We have real live stuff going on, real world, and as we build up. So Angelo, let's talk about the real estate
I
and
got a quick question for Angela. So,
Yes.
Angelo, let me ask.
I want to ask you about the recession.
Wait a minute before we move on. So, Angela, let me ask you: how hard is it if you have a mortgage to move that? If the mortgage is in your personal name and you want to move the mortgage under your LLC, how hard is that?
It's Not hard at all. You just go to a title company, and then you can go ahead and the easiest and quickest way is to do a quick claim deed, basically.
Mm.
Um,
Okay.
just go ahead and put in your personal name. Now, they'll put in your business name if that's what you're looking to do, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That was it. Go ahead, sweet mom.
That was a good question, E, and that was a good answer, Angelo. Thank y'all for that. That no, that's
Thank you.
some real stuff because some people be trying to make it sound so difficult, and you just put it in plain words, plain and simple. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that was a
So,
good one.
what could be a
Thank you.
hindrance that a person could not put their LLC, their person into the LLC? What could be a hindrance? Do you know anything off the top of hand?
Well, I always tell people, when you're actually, so the best approach to take when you're buying anything is to actually buy it under your personal name, and then you later transfer it into your LLC after you obtain ownership of the property. And here's why: if you buy under LLC, you're gonna be considered commercial or company, and as a result, you're gonna be required to put more money down and a much.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So that's why it's always advisable. And in fact, yeah, they're not going to treat it as just your regular residential mortgage because you're buying it as a company. But yeah, to acquire it with your personal name, less money down, lower interest rate, and then just transfer it, you'll save yourself a lot of money and a lot of
Okay.
woes from
That's
So,
good
is that just for
information.
for residential, or let's say, in my real life, real name, I want to buy commercial property? Would I do that in my personal name, then transfer it over, or should I do it from the business side for commercial?
um. So if it's commercial, then from that point, you can go ahead and
Okay.
just do it under your LLC because it's commercial. You're still going to be hit with the higher interest rate and the higher down payment, basically. So
Okay.
Okay. Makes
Can
sense.
you
Okay.
can you give us some?
now,
Okay,
let
I'm
me
sorry.
add to that. Also, depending on the type of commercial property you're purchasing, if you're just running some kind of establishment, that's one thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you're running like a mixed use property where you
Mm-hmm.
have commercial zoning,
Mm-hmm.
here's a perfect example. You have a storefront property, but you have some apartments upstairs, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you can demonstrate to the lender that, um, although this is a business, but I'm going to occupy it, and you can demonstrate where a higher percentage of that use will be towards your personal residence, then you can actually get in, under the radar, even though it is commercial because it's mixed use and you're going to be living there with the lower down payment and interest rate as well. Does that
Mm.
make sense?
Okay.
So it
Okay.
depends on the type of commercial establishment.
Okay. That's good information. I see more people talking about purchasing LLCs and purchasing property and things of that nature. They have all these good businesses, especially started over the COVID period. We see a lot of more business owners flexing. Um,
They took that
what?
PPP money. That's what they did.
Yeah, God bless
We were
their
just talking
hearts.
about
Hope
that
they pay
earlier.
back. So, what do you see? Let's give us some financial forecasting for real estate within the next year. What has been the difference between a year ago up until now?
The increase in rates. And although the
Mm.
rates have increased, the rates were at historic lows. Rates have increased, but rates are still good. The problem with consumers is they don't take time to seek out and listen to the narrative. They just hear a headline and then like they panic. Oh, rates have increased, and so all right, well I can't buy. Well, nah, I mean buying is a necessity, right? So
Mhm.
all right, maybe the rate isn't at 2.5%, which was a historic low. Maybe it's at 5 or 6. But if you also look at the trend now, rental prices have gone through the roof, and so
Sure.
it's not uncommon for a person to own a property or have a mortgage that's equivalent, or even in some cases less than what they're paying for rent.
Mhm.
So the market will stabilize. It won't make a correction because the difference between the housing market that went in now in the housing market in '08. There was a lot of predatory lending, defrauding the system, and the market was saturated. So when you look at the laws of um, supply and demand, you still don't have a lot of inventory, and that's what's driving the seller's market that
Inflation.
way, even though
Mhm.
the rates are higher. And so you figure, worst case scenario, the market makes a correction, which it won't. Those people who were actually the homeowners, they won't flinch because they're paying the same amount of money that they were paying for rent, if not less. But the difference is they're homeowners, they own it, they got the tax advantages,
Mhm.
they get the higher, tax refund. So it's no sweat to them.
Before, because we're gonna get Cuzzy to ask some juicy questions, but before that, right? Um, how can a person avoid, or how can they see ahead of time staying away from a balloon type of payment?
Mm.
Well, that's an arm. I mean, it's always a common practice to get a fixed rate mortgage, basically. What you find is the balloon payments or the arms, they're only popular, well, in markets like this when the rate is low, but you have to be very savvy when you're taking that on. Maybe, you'll get in at the lower rate, but you have to be mindful to refinance, basically, because if you're not, then it'll definitely, explode, and you'll
So, in a
just be
nutshell, just make sure it's a fixed rate.
fixed rate mortgage, yes, not an arm. Mm.
Okay, all right. Um, so have you ever saw, like, in the breakups of any of these homes and stuff like that, that you may have sold to people, and let's say you sell a couple, a home, um 2 years ago, and then you just so happen to bump into either the husband or the wife in the market, in the food market, and they say, "Hey, how y'all enjoying your house?" And then they give you this story about their breakup. Have you ever heard any crazy breakups
Um,
other than my cousins?
Mm. Cousin.
I
um,
still love you.
No.
um, no, I mean, it's what I think, I mean, you heard it all. I mean, it's nothing uncommon about just having, friction. I mean, I've dealt with situations in which, yeah, two people weren't together, and pretty much, cooler heads prevail. So, as I mentioned earlier, when emotions get in the way, and two people can't be civil and figure out how to, have a clean departure, all they end up doing is hurting themselves in terms of their, credit situation,
Right.
instead of, just salvaging the credit, um, by just selling the property, just kind of take your bumps and keep it moving. So, um, actually, I had a settlement today in which there was a ex-wife, and he still had his name on the property. She still had her name on the property, and the new wife lived in the property. And she initially um, was being rather spiteful and not being cooperative. But at the end of the day, she realized that, what, if this property doesn't sell, I mean, they're not together, and I'm not going to get anything out of it. And interest rates have gone up as well. So at some point, I guess the whole reality, kind of kicked in, and it kind of worked out for the best. So
See, that's the thing. The bitterness of breakup, it could
Mhm.
get crazy. You know what I'm saying? And but it seems like if men just throw the cards up in the air and just don't even want to deal with the situation and let the other side win all the time, then that's why they win all the time. I'm I want to be fair with people, or my mate or whatever. I do want to be fair, but all that, like a lot of these women out here these days, they be want, like it's a severance package when when you break up, and it's just not cool. So it's not even worth it. They'll send you home, or you wake up in the morning after they done reamed you out, and the only thing you can think of is
Mm.
don't want it to be me. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, uh, I mean, I just like to I like to treat people fair, and that's just it. Don't right, cuz. Well, I tell you what, that's just messed up. Anyway, but so cuzzy, anything else you want to ask? I mean,
Let me see. Commercial. I think that was pretty much the questions Baldy and I asked from scenarios that we talked to people all week. So we couldn't wait for Angelo to come on because we did have some questions about the LLC, information from personal to LLC, to the breakups, to some wonderful individuals who are still buying properties and they're not married and they probably soon gonna break up because of the situation what the person said. It's not even gonna be a year and they're gonna be trying to sell a property. So thank you, Angelo, for coming in. And I want you to give all your information so those people can contact you, what states you're available, and get your money. And so you have the floor to
So,
wrap us up.
so, so the best way to reach me more immediately is my cell number. It stays with me no matter where I go. That number is 410-977-5630. And I always tell people, if you try me and don't get me, leave me a message or text me. If I don't respond the same day, I'll respond by the next day. Licensed in Maryland, D.C., Virginia, Pennsylvania. And, even if it's a jurisdiction I'm not licensed, I have a network of realtors in which I can refer anybody. So um, that doesn't restrict me from, being a resource, real estate resource, basically.
And the name of
And
your company.
um, the Coop Group of Keller Williams Realty, and it's not just residential; it's also commercial investment um, and development services as well. So
Okay. So that's Angelo Cooper. He was our guest for tonight for our relationship show in reference to real estate and you and your building your wealth and empowerment, whether single or partnered up or married. We had some good questions. Make sure you log on to YouTube, Street Tactics Radio, hit the subscribe button and the notification button so you can drop in. We have our quickie show coming on Monday. Stay tuned for that at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So again, the Street Tactic family want to thank you, Angelo, for coming through. We'll possibly have you on again once we get some more questions in. Just to come in, do a quick health check for real estate and wealth building with you. You are a great realtor. Keep staying positive. Keep building your business. We definitely appreciate you staying and hanging out with us night owls. We were on our 9:30-ish time. We definitely appreciate you as well as our audience. Please continue to put questions and comments in the chat. Once we log off, you can go to our page under the video. Any questions or if you want Angelo's information, we'll definitely post it again so you can get in contact with him. This is Street Tactics Radio. Are you for real though? Show myself, Sweet Mama G.
Baldy E.
DJ Concrete, aka Crete, aka get on my cousin nerves.
Yes. Thank you so much. And Angelo Cooper, the Coop Group of Keller Williams. So I will put his information under the video once we edit out and add it on to the YouTube. So you can continue to do business with him and ask him questions and get him some money. So we appreciate you all. Thank you. Good night. We'll see you on Monday for our quickie show, Street Tactics Radio, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the gang. Peace out. Bye.
Peace out. And fellas, make sure y'all stay strong. Y'all don't want to wake up the next morning.
Good night. See y'all.